Let's get ready to rumble!
Benzinga Nation, jam-packed show today. Peloton up 5%.
What's up, disciplined investor?
We got Benzinga CEO Jason Raznick here with us.
The man, the myth, the legend, Tom Nash.
Peter Schiff on the Power Hour with us live today. Interesting, different, unique, innovative companies. Mia, you are live with us on the Power Hour. What's up?
Thank you so much for inviting me on.
Jessica Billingsley, that is the CEO of Akerna, the best trade idea resource out there. Yo, what's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Tuesday, second day of the week. My Tuesdays lately have been my favorite day of the week. Not for any market reason in particular, but I don't know. I just been feeling good on my Tuesdays. We are rocking and rolling, guys. Today, let's talk about Coinbase a little bit more. We talked about some of these ancillary plays yesterday. Tomorrow, Coinbase, I expect, will open for trading during this show. Again, sort of the precedence that we have is that, one, it's super highly anticipated, and when that's happened for the past several big public debuts, we've seen the stocks open later in the day, like a 1, 2 o'clock. But some of these direct offerings have gone pretty early in the morning. If we think about Slack, we think about Palantir, those were both out, I think, by around 10 a.m. or so. So we'll see. We don't know exactly what it's going to happen. We know it's going to be tomorrow. But we'll talk about Coinbase a little bit today. We're going to get into some trade ideas. So trade ideas that are on the docket today. I didn't get through them all yesterday. I actually have 2 on the short side to pitch you guys on today. And then, of course, I have a new long position that I added just yesterday. So we'll take a look at that one and get a sense of how we're feeling about that long position. We still feel good about it. Do we want to adjust it? We're going to talk about Alibaba. Alibaba making a big run on the heels of that fine yesterday. And of course, we are going to be jam-packed with guests. This wouldn't be the Power Hour if we didn't have guests flying throughout the show. Kicking us off right at the top here, we're about to have the CEO of ticker EQOS. That's Echo Quebec Oscar Sandy. Obviously, been a favorite of the chat, been a favorite of the trading community. Right in just a couple minutes here, we're going to have Eagle investors on talking some stock ideas. We're going to have stock dads on talking some stock ideas. And then Kadar the Don at 1:30 Eastern. Something else that we're going to slip into this episode 2 is we're going to do an FDA lesson. So if you care about these biotech stocks, these FDA stocks, we're going to talk about what exactly are the items that you should be paying attention for? What are the catalysts that drive these stocks? What does typical timing look like? Sort of the run-ups and the wanes, and sort of the behavior that these stocks typically follow. It's not something that we've dug into on this show before. So stay tuned. We're doing 3 trade ideas just from me, not including out of the chat, not including from our desk. So at least 3 trade ideas. FDA lesson, and of course, I'm going to be kicking us off in just a second here with the CEO of Diginax. Again, that's ticker EQOS. So how's that sound, guys? Good? All right. I'm getting some goods in the chat. All right, I'll take it. I'm going to make my first ask of the day, guys. And the ask is, you shouldn't be surprised if you've been listening to this show for any period of time. Hit the like button on the YouTube stream. Go ahead, smash that like. Share the stream. Because again, if I'm pulling up my live account, I'm giving you guys my live trades that we're making. Our 1-year rate of return, I was just checking it this morning, over 90% in the live account. Oh, there's no explosion there. Okay. I was expecting an explosion at the end. That's supposed to be a bomb going off.
That was kind of anticlimactic.
That was super anticlimactic. The lightning one is awesome, though. Boom. All right. So if we're dropping trade ideas, we're showing the winners. We're showing the losers. We're bringing the guests on that you guys want. Share the stream. Like the stream. Let's get these numbers up. Let's get cooking. Let's get clipping. And without further ado, I am going to bring on our first very special guest. Richard, welcome to the Power Hour. Guys, CEO of Diginax, as I mentioned in our nice little intro there, where we were testing out some sound effects. Richard, I don't know if you could hear those, but
Missed the explosion.
Yeah, but that was very anticlimactic, right?
It was a bit anticlimactic, I got to say, but it was good. The energy you're bringing to the show is fantastic, I got to say.
All right, so even if we don't have the sound effects, right? Which we're working through them. At least the energy is there. But what's up, man? How you doing today? Good week thus far. Big week for crypto.
It's been a huge week. We just touched all-time highs again today. Very exciting. The exchange, for us, we have our own exchange, EQOS. We're doing all-time highs in volumes on the exchange, up about 30x since we listed. So things are growing really explosively for us as well. And yeah, it's an exciting day with Coinbase coming out as well, obviously.
Absolutely. But before we hop into it, let's talk about Coinbase for a second. Do you have any opinions on the Coinbase valuation numbers being thrown around? Like we keep hearing the 100 billion number. I don't know if you have any hot takes on that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've been looking at a couple of the gray market venues for it. I think we're actually looking at about 150 to 200 billion with where things are extending to now.
I think it's going to be way over 100 as well.
Yeah. It's really getting very, very hot. I was on with a few investors earlier that obviously, are looking at the whole sector. And they were saying they were just disappointed that it was so hot because their entry point is going to be nowhere near where they needed it to be. But yeah, I think, this industry shows that there's huge growth potential. My own Bitcoin estimate for the year is about 3 times higher than here. So you got 300% returns on a geared play. Makes sense.
Absolutely. And so the gray market where you're talking about the 150, 200 billion valuation for Coinbase, I'm assuming that's like some sort of secondary market for like employee shares or options or something along those lines.
Exactly right. There's a couple of venues that have been showing out a sort of a gray market indication and tradable prices as well.
Yeah,
and
I think that we're going to be
traded at 200. So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and I mean the numbers they put out were monstrous. Again, guys, it's 1.8 billion of revenue in Q1 that Coinbase put up. Let's say that's 10 billion a year, right? 10 times sales for such a hot industry like this is not crazy. I think it's gonna be way over 100 billion too. But we'll see if it gets too run up before it starts trading, and then the rest of the sector gets hit because the market can't sustain the share price. But all right, that's enough about Coinbase. Let's talk about Diginax. For anybody who's not familiar, can you just give us a background of the company and what's exciting that you guys are working on?
So Diginex is a full digital asset ecosystem. So we have an exchange at the center, EQOS, like Coinbase, but unlike Coinbase, we also do derivatives. So derivatives is where you tend to see fairly huge numbers in terms of volumes in traditional markets like FX and interest rates. And right now in crypto, we're at very nascent stages of the derivative market. And so what we're obviously playing towards is the development of the crypto derivative market. A big part of the team's management comes from traditional finance derivative desks. So our head of investment products, for example, is the ex-global head of structured products at UBS. My own background is a derivative head of trading and sales at Nomura. We have our head of product is also a derivative guy from Nomura. So we've got a lot of derivative expertise within the organization. It's basically an ecosystem that allows you to trade all of those products. Investment products are like a tracker fund. So like the Grayscale product, we launch our first one next month. We launch borrowing and lending next month as well. We have our own asset management business. We have our own investment banking business. And we have our own trading system that plugs into 2 of the world's largest trading platforms, FIS and Itiviti, to be able to trade across Coinbase, Kraken, EQOS, and many others.
And so for these derivative products, is it mostly institutions that are trading these and getting exposure via these, or is retail involved as well? And then can you talk about which products have been especially hot recently?
So the main product that you see in crypto is the Perpetual futures swap. So this is slightly different to what you see in traditional markets. With the perpetual future swap, you've effectively got a never expiring future. And that is funded on a daily basis. So if you're long the future, generally you're paying funding. If you're short the future, you're generally getting paid funding. So that in itself creates a load of arbitrage opportunities as people look to go long the spot, short the future. But this is traded by everybody in the industry. So professional retail traders, as well as the institutions. So the institutions from high frequency traders, crypto native hedge funds, as we call them, market makers. So it's obviously always heavily dominated by institutions just because of the size of the ticket, but retail are a big player in it as well.
Okay. And it's not open to peoples in the US right now, correct?
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't offer our platform to people in the US. People in the US can get access to our fund, and they can get access to our trading technology platform that I mentioned, can give you access to Kraken, Coinbase, and others, which allows you to trade algos across those different platforms. But our exchange, our custodian, they're not open to US persons, I'm afraid, at this point in time.
Okay. And the trading platform, you mentioned the algorithmic trading is a feature of it. Is that like the primary differentiator or most value additive thing that you do with your trading platform?
Actually the biggest differentiator is the fact that it's plugged into these two massive trading technology powerhouses, FIS and Itiviti.
Okay.
So Itiviti is the most active of our partners. They've got 1,600 institutional clients that are all starting to ask the question, how do we trade crypto? They've got their own infrastructure from Itiviti already, and now we provide them a crypto trading module, which allows them to trade on those various different platforms because we're integrated across all of them.
Okay. And so now that we've gotten the background on who's involved and what exactly it is that you guys are doing, I want to loop back to a second ago. You teased your Bitcoin price target for the year. You know, can you walk me through that? You know, how do you back that up? Is it because you're seeing this wave of institutional money? You're seeing more sophisticated investors get involved here. You know, what's the key driver there?
So, you know, like MicroStrategy and what they did in terms of being a corporate putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet, you know, we're starting to see this same demand from Asian and European corporates. So one of the news items that we put out recently was the fact that we're working with Treasury Management International, which is a industry body for corporate treasurers, 30,000 across Europe, to help them educate their members, but also help them put Bitcoin on their own balance sheet as they want to start to accept Bitcoin and put Bitcoin on the balance sheet. So we're seeing a lot more of this. We have corporates coming onto the platform and buying Bitcoin. So this is a big factor. So when you think about the fact that Tesla, MicroStrategy, and Square, between just those three companies, with the Bitcoin purchases they've done, they've bought 45% of the annual supply of Bitcoin.
Wait, what do you mean by what does that 45% of the annual supply mean?
So every day there's an amount of Bitcoin.
Oh, the amount of Bitcoin that's produced over the course of a year?
Yeah, exactly right. So
okay.
Just those three companies, for their own balance sheet requirements, bought 45% of the annual supply of Bitcoin, right? Okay. So then you think about the fact we're working with an industry body that has 30,000 corporate treasurers as part of their membership group, then you suddenly see you're in a supply side crisis for Bitcoin. And if you go back and map it against previous halving cycles that we've had, you can see that the run-ups, we're only just beginning the run-up in Bitcoin right now. I know we touched all-time highs today, but I think even conservatively speaking, my target of $175,000 for the year is something that we could easily break through, actually.
Okay. And we may have I'll tease this announcement now. Richard, you're going to be the first one to hear about this, but within the next week or two, you might be hearing some news that Benzinga is moving part of its corporate treasury into Bitcoin as well. So, you know, just throwing that rumor out there. Let me ask you this one. Have you heard of the rumor floating around about Walmart?
I have heard that they are considering things. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you don't have more insight than I do?
No.
As to, okay. All right. I mean, that would be a big one. If it was like a Tesla's like a new wave company, right? It's like Tesla's like the new age, cutting edge. I mean, they're like they launched a car into space, right? Whereas Walmart's been around for quite a while, right? It's definitely sophisticated in what they do on the technology side of things. But the point of the business isn't innovation, right? The point of the business is getting products to people, and so that's where I think if they get involved, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's big. I mean, look, the move that Elon made with Tesla meant that at least every CFO at their next board meeting needs to explain to the board, why is Tesla buying Bitcoin on their balance sheet? They just need to explain it. So, there's enough intelligent people out there that they'll put 2 and 2 together, and a few people start making an allocation.
Yeah, I like it. All right, so I sort of threw us off track for a second, but let's go back to Diginax for a second. Can you walk us through basically the revenue driver in the upcoming year? Obviously, the company has been very hot. Our traders in our room in Zinger Nation out there have been citing it regularly. So can you take us through that and sort of what you're most excited about in the next one or 2 years to come for the company?
Sure. So there's 4 main areas where I'm very excited, and that's the exchange, because that's the venue where all the derivatives and the rollout of options are going to be listed. That's the investment products business, not just for what we're doing on the tracker fund side, but for what comes next, the structured product side. This is where we really start to show our derivative dominance. And by rolling out structured products and having options listed on the exchange, you start to create a center of flow in the derivative space. And this is obviously what the longer term game is around what we've been doing with the derivative strategy. The third point is borrowing and lending. So as we start to obviously have products that need to have the capacity to be able to go long and short, having that capacity and being able to offer people the ability to go short on Bitcoin, and then also add
super interesting
to their Bitcoin, I think is an extremely interesting point. And I think that's a business that can really, really grow. And then I'd say the only other part is the investment products business itself. This is a very scalable business. If you think about all the pension pot money that's sitting out there that can't actually buy the physical asset, for them to be able to buy exchange listed trackers or 2 times levered trackers or Bitcoin plus yield dividend maximizers, these sorts of structures, these are all sorts of things that a lot of money is already flowing into, but there's huge pent up demand. So those are the sort of 4 key buckets that we're looking at for the major revenue drivers this year.
Excellent. And let me ask you this question too. How closely tied is revenue growth to the price of Bitcoin? With the mining stocks, it's obvious, right? They hold a ton of Bitcoin on the balance sheet. Their operation is mining Bitcoin. The revenue they drive is closely tied to the price of Bitcoin. For you guys, how would you draw that analogy or that comparison?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're an exchange. We're a trading company. When there's volatility, we benefit. So Bitcoin tends to trade like a crisis stock every couple of months. It's basically
same for us in the news business. When it goes crazy, okay, everybody's back interested.
But yeah, I mean, look, when it goes down, I mean, the amount of volume that we see on the exchange absolutely spikes. So when you get these big drawdowns, you get liquidations, you get people piling in, you get a lot of risk mitigation, you get a lot of trading happening. So up and down, it's good for us.
Awesome. And then one last question: what should investors watch out for next? What's the next announcement? The next catalyst? What should we have on our radars to pay attention for from Diginax?
The product roadmap around the launch of our first tracker fund. So that's coming at the end of the month. We'll also roll out the institutional borrowing and lending at the end of this month. So we'll be doing our first trades in the coming weeks. We'll be announcing that as and when that happens. And obviously the product roadmap that we have on the exchange already, that's in the public domain, but all of those things will be being announced as they come to market.
Awesome. All right, Richard, I appreciate you taking the time to hop on with us today. I do have one sound that's tried and true. It's not anticlimactic like the bomb. You gave us some info today. There's the air horn. All right, let's go.
Cool. Thanks, Luke.
So thanks for taking the time again, guys. The company is Diginex, the ticker EQOS. That's Echo, Quebec, Oscar, Sandy.
Fantastic. Thanks, Luke.
All right, guys, how about that? There we go. There's an interesting one to start the day off, right? We promised this is I guess we promised a couple things, right? We promised 3 things. We promised stock ideas. We promised gimmicks. We got the sounds in there. We have jokes. We have not delivered on the joke front yet today, but I'll try to get that going as I warm up a little more. But absolutely an interesting company. I get a lot of questions, especially on Twitter, of people asking, hey, how do I get access to the space, but I don't want something that's necessarily pegged to the price of Bitcoin, like some of the mining stocks. This is absolutely a way to do it. So hopefully that was helpful for you all. If you're just joining us, a couple of items that we have up on the radar for us today. I've got 3 stock ideas I'm going to be talking about. I have 2 new short ideas. I know shorts are evil, but I've got 2 short ideas that I'm going to drop on the group. These are both tickers that we have not talked about yet on this show. So we're going to get through those. We're going to talk about Alibaba. Obviously, some action out of Alibaba. It's one that I was too scared to get into. But let's take a look at Baba in a second here. And then we're going to be talking FDA. Right, these are like the most volatile stocks here. I haven't even shared my screen yet today. So let me go ahead and pull up a screen share here. I got to squint. Sorry. I need glasses. My dad's an eye doctor. But all right, if we look at the biggest gaining and losing stocks of the day each and every day, it's always the biotech stocks that are dominating this list, right? They're the ones that are getting some crazy results out, right? Their drugs are working, they're not working, they're getting improved, they're getting denied by the Food and Drug Administration. So that's why we want to take some time, dig into what are the catalysts that drive these stocks, how do you know what to keep track of, etc. And producer Rohan, can we get the phone number up on the screen? We've got a loyal member of Zinger Nation, of the community. If you are there watching with us today, you are a member of Zinger Nation. There's no if, and, or buts about that. But Happy Muhammad in the chat, he's got I've never seen him so happy, so excited for a stock. Okay, I don't know if I've seen anybody in the chat this excited to pitch a stock. So Happy. The phone number is on the screen. You said you were going to call in and pitch it. There it is. Throw it out there. Let's get this thing rolling. All right. I want to hear the stock pitch. And if anybody else has a stock pitch that they want to talk about today, all right, you can call that number too. Happy that the phone number's up. Not hearing it ring. You said if we put it on the screen, you'd call in 3 minutes, in and out, quick pitch. So we'll leave it up there for you for a second. Producer Rohan, how are we looking?
Hello.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey, who is this?
Hey, it's Happy.
All right, he's on the line. All right, pipe him in. All right, this is what we do on the Power Hour, baby. We sort of have an idea. I have the stocks that I want to talk about, but we go with the flow. All right, wow, Apple is ripping. If anybody's trading Apple is ripping. We just talked about that one yesterday. Let's go, Apple.
What's up, guys? Can you hear me?
What's up, man? Give us the ticker. You said you were ready for one.
All right, so can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Let me know when you can hear me. You can hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, are you ready? All right, this is very similar to Voyager. I know Luke is a big fan of the stock.
I might be bombing out of it tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm just throwing that out there into the ethos. I've been the bull on this stock forever. Tomorrow, I might be bombing out of this stock. So, full disclosure.
If it goes up today, it's on a down run, so you probably want to wait.
Coinbase could F it up. But all right, what's your ticker?
It is BBKCF.
So it's big digital assets. Is that right?
That's right.
All right, I'm pulling up. Okay.
So the reason why
here's a 1 year chart daily candles, guys.
Big digital assets. Is that right? Yep. That's right.
You're listening to me on YouTube. You're not listening to me through the phone, which means that there's going to
Yeah.
inherently be a
My bad. There's a
3-second delay,
delete.
and it's going to make things
Yeah,
infinitely
my bad.
more
Okay.
difficult.
Let me just turn off the TV.
Okay, thank
So
you.
the reason why I'm investing in this is because they are the owner of Netcoin. Netcoin is the biggest crypto brokerage in Canada. It's being advertised everywhere on the radios, on the news. So it's going to be huge. They also own an asset company called Big Digital Assets. So what this Big Digital Assets does is it's going to be huge. They also own an asset company called Big Digital Assets.
Wait, you were about to tell us what it does, and you stopped.
So let me stop.
No, you said Big Digital Assets does, and then I lost you.
Okay, so the ticker is BBKCF, and they own Netcoin,
Netcoins,
and
I
then
got
they
that.
also own Big Digital. My bad, it's all delayed here.
No, just stop. Turn
Big
off the
Digital
computer.
Assets.
Just listen to me through the phone.
Yeah, I am. My TV's off now.
Okay, all right. Keep going.
Okay, so they signed a federal contract agency in 2020, basically, and it's
We're struggling a little bit.
Yeah, I just think it's just going to be sympathy along with the Coinbase IPO. I think it's really similar to Voyager. They could have chose to go through the SPAC route, but they chose to go to the OTC route. Everyone I know in Canada uses Netcoin, so I already know it's big over here.
Okay, and Big Digital Assets. Okay, so the question that I had is whether or not it actually owns Netcoins, and it seems like it does.
Yes, it does.
All right, this one's interesting. So
And I think it's still really low. It's been on a run today, about 12%. I think it's going to keep growing. I think they've already said they're profitable as well. I think they said they make over $100,000 a day right now.
And I see Q1 forecast revenue, which we just finished that quarter, so I'm guessing this is pretty damn close to $3.5 million. I want to see the market cap on this thing. Let's do the quick. All right, if everybody asks like, how do you do DD? Let's just do a quick little deep dive together. It's not going to be a deep dive. All right, BBKCF. I want to confirm this. So BBKCF. I'm just checking a secondary source. All right, so market cap is right around 500 million. So let's throw that in our calculator. I would normally write this down.
They also said they have cash on hand of 35 million, so they're cash positive.
Are they cash flow positive, or they just have cash from their offering?
I'm not sure about that, but they are seeing. But they're saying they're making 100K a day and exceeding. Oh, let me see. This brokerage has been seeing exponential growth in the revenues over the last few months. Trading volumes increased 2,733% year over year, and 142% month over month. And in Jan 2021, exceeding CAD 81 million. A large part of the growth can be attributed to institutional buyers assigning a portion of the portfolio in cryptocurrencies rather than gold and a safe haven asset.
Okay. All right. So check this out. So I see so if they're doing $3.5 million of revenue for 4 quarters, that's $14 million of annual revenue, assuming no growth. And obviously, we look at this chart here, we can see some growth. So if we look at this 500 million that they have here, that's their market cap divided by 14 million. So that's trading at 36 times sales. Not cheap by any means.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you guys a comparison that I did this weekend. Let me find it. Hold on. All right. Where is this? Show this thread. Okay. We need to go up. All right. So Coinbase is coming out at 14 times price to sales. You know, market cap divided by sales, enterprise value divided by sales. They're about the same for this company. Voyager's at 15.7 times price to sales. This stock is at 36 times price to sales. I don't love it on the valuation front. The revenue growth is nice, right? We see that the company went from, let's pull it back up. They went from 950,000 of revenue to 3.5 million from Q4 to Q1. But Voyager on the other side,
they're also one of the
3.5 million of revenue to
only
56.
regular.
So
They're also one of the only regulated and compliant crypto exchanges in Canada right now.
all right, I sort of like it. Obviously, the chart has been. When did they go public? Do you know when that deal happened?
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. I've been hearing about it on the radio about Netcoin for the last, since all of 2021. So I would say sometime last year, probably, late last year.
Okay. All right. I think it's interesting. I'm going to throw this one out to the chat, out to Zinger Nation. If you guys like this stock, again, Happy Mohammed.
I think for the price right now, I think it's a great buy.
EBKCF. 1, if you like it. 2, if you don't. I'm going to do the other. I'm going to hit the 3, right? I want to dig in a little bit more, but I think it's definitely interesting. Absolutely interesting. And one more question and we'll let you go. But what about Mogo? Do you know anything about Mogo? Ruel in the chat is saying Mogo is interesting to him.
Is that in Canada as well?
It's in Canada as well. Mogo.
I'm pretty sure Mogo is just a mortgage loan company.
All right, so Ruel's gonna have to. Okay, I see. Some of its products are personal loans.
Mogo offers something called Mogo Card, which is their fancy name for a loadable prepaid Visa card.
All right, so Ruel, if somebody is pitching Mogo to you as their primary business is crypto, they're just trying to sell the stock. It sounds like. All right, Happy. I appreciate you calling in, man.
About crypto.
It was fun.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Take care, guys. Always showing love for the guys in the chat. Take care, guys.
Boom. I dig it. All right, guys. Let's keep it rolling. Let's do one stock really quick before we bring our next guest on. All right. I said I've got 3 ideas I want to talk about today. 2 on the short side, 1 on the long side. Let's start off short. And I'm going to disclaim this. This is going to be the weakest of the 3, and that it's going to be the only one of the 3 that I'm not taking action on. But they're both on the watch list. They might be sort of obvious, but maybe not. But the prison stocks, right? If you're not aware, there are some publicly traded prison stocks. These businesses operate by basically operating prisons. The government pays them to store people in those prisons. Same thing goes for like detention centers. With like the southern U.S. border. So we have 2. We have ticker GEO and we have ticker CXW. Obviously, the share prices have gotten a little bit rattled. These are both 1-year charts that I'm pulling up here. And the thesis is, I don't know what good could come to these stocks over the course of the next 4 years, at least, right? While we have the Biden administration, and then I'm going to push that even further, and I'm going to say that you have members of the Democratic Party that are calling out the Biden administration and Joe Biden by name for not taking action against these companies and letting them still operate prisons. Absolutely not a good catalyst, not anything positive for these names. I'll cite two other items here. We've seen at least 1 contract lost. It was a contract for the U.S. Marshals, where again, private prisons were operating detention centers for U.S. Marshals. They lost those contracts. We didn't hear the exact reason why, right? I suspect it has something to do with the political environment and the idea of, hey, we don't want to turn prisons into a profit center. But they lost at least 1 contract. And then check this out. If we scroll further back, I'm looking at my Benzinga Pro news feed here. Gosh, how far back do I have to go? All right. Basically, both stocks announced a stock offering, right? So they raised cash for a stock offering. And then look at this. Geo Group suspends quarterly dividend to maximize repayment of debt while it evaluates corporate structure. Okay, so you had both companies went out and raised cash, right? And said we need more money to put on our balance sheets to feel good about ourselves. And then you have Geo coming out and suspending their dividend, another cash saving item. But the read between the lines that I have as a big news junkie on both of these stocks is, okay, they're worried about their futures and maybe are just sort of in a holdout period for at least the next several years. And so that's why they went ahead and took both of those cash actions. For that reason, I don't like either stock. Again, I'm not getting in on the action just yet, but they're both on the watch list. I said I'm dropping 3 ideas today. There's the first one of the day. If you're just joining us, up to come, we're going to talk about FDA stocks. I'm going to do a long idea that I have, and I'm going to be taking a position in. I'm going to be doing a short idea that I have, and I'm going to be taking a position in. And we still have 3 amazing guests who are going to be joining us. Without further ado, I'm going to make 2 asks to the chat community. 1, we're trying to get viewership up on these shows, right? We spend a lot of energy on these. See this like button here on YouTube? It's easy. Press it. Share the stream. Let's rally the troops. Let's get more people into Zinger Nation hanging out with us and on to the video. Number 2, drop in the chat the tickers that you want us to look at today. I promise we'll have time to look at least a couple of them before we get to our chat challenge update. Without further ado, I want to bring a very special guest on. What is up, guys? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing well. Having some fun on a Tuesday. Coinbase week. Excited for that. Trying not to talk about Coinbase for the full 2 hours straight because everybody's going to get bored of me. But I don't know. I'm having some fun. What's up with you guys?
What's going on, Luke? Great to see you. Thanks so much for having us today. Yeah, we've just been trading the market all day. Have a bunch of our pro traders, putting out trades, market analysis, etc. Pretty regular, a little bit of a choppy day, not as bad as yesterday, but we're a little bit more green than red than yesterday, that's for sure. So just the usual. I know you guys are talking about some great stocks, and thanks again for having us today.
For sure, man. All right. I like you guys. You just jump straight into it. You haven't been on this show before, so I'll just give you a heads up. There's 3 things we promise on the show. 1 is trade ideas, the best trade idea resource out there. 2 is gimmicks. I deliver plenty of gimmicks all day, every day. That's what I'm best at. And number 3 is jokes. We haven't gotten to jokes yet today, but maybe you can help us out on that front. But at least starting off with trade ideas. What's on your radar today? What are some of the stocks you're looking at? Just trades you're in, etc.
Yeah, that's a great question. So Vishu, I know Vishu is he's our Chief Operations and Chief Investment Officer at Eagle Investors. He can certainly talk about this just as probably more than me. But taking a look at some stuff, we have a crypto section, small cap section, everything from options, futures, equities as usual that we trade. But mostly we're looking at the equity market today. We're bull on Amazon, bull on JP Morgan as well. One thing that we've been making a lot of money off scalping today is Roblox, RBLX. I know they IPO'd a little bit ago. It is a technology company. They're doing super well today, up really nicely. It actually just broke out of that resistance, and it's pretty much clear skies. So we've been scalping that with our traders.
Yeah, guys, check this out. These are the daily candles on Roblox. And I'm going to go back to Amazon in a second here, too. You see this previous all-time high in Roblox. The trend is your friend. Just a general market rule, and this is something that's been proven in plenty of academic studies. When a stock breaks a 52-week high, odds are it'll keep breaking it. We're definitely seeing that with Roblox today. So round of applause on you guys and getting into some of that action.
Thank you, Luke. And Vishu, do you want to go ahead? I know you're watching a lot of stuff.
And Amazon too. Let me just go back to Amazon. Check this out, guys. These are daily candles on Amazon. We've got 2 highs right here, right around what is this level? It's 34, 33-ish, somewhere in that ballpark. You'll be able to spot it better on your charts than I'm eyeballing it right now. But it looks like we got rejected at that high again today. So that's a level to watch in Amazon. But all right, I cut you off. Keep going.
So something that I'm looking for, I'm more of a macro trader, so I try to look at the macro environment, and something that I'm looking into is the vaccine rollout and the fact that we're seeing a lot of pent-up demand, and we've seen excess savings for the past couple of months. So I believe that we could see a large transition towards the services as well as the discretionary spending space. 2 names that I'm looking into particular are Wynn as well as Las Vegas Sands. I think there's a lot of opportunity for these stocks longer term. I'm looking to hold them into the summer as well. They're two of my value plays, which I think will recover as we see the vaccine rollout and we see that pent up savings be consumed over the next few months as well.
Okay. It makes sense. The most bullish news that I've heard from the space yet came yesterday out of Uber, ticker UBER. Uber said yesterday that their March bookings, and I don't know exactly what the definition of bookings is. If somebody in Zinger Nation wants to look that up real quick and drop a definition in the chat, that would be helpful. But I'm assuming that it's at least closely related to the number of people using Uber's ride sharing service. So their March bookings was the highest in company history. So if you're talking about Win and you're talking about ticker LVS, it definitely speaks to, okay, people are itching to get out there and spend some money.
Yep.
Well, do you have any sort of a timeline on the trade? How far out you're looking, et cetera?
So I think I'm looking to hold it throughout the summer. I think in particular during the summer, we're going to see a lot of spending just due to that pent up demand. And then after the summer, I think we might see a little bit of a drop off in demand. So I think like beginning of summer will be like the ideal time to get into for this trade to start moving higher.
Okay. All right, that's helpful. And we just jumped straight into stocks today. Tell us a little bit about Eagle.
Yeah, great question, Luke. So Eagle Investors was founded a little bit under 2 years ago. We're an online data sharing and information community. We have a Discord, and we also are coming out with our own app, and we have a lot of stuff in the pipeline. Overall, what we do is we produce market analysis throughout the market day. We provide a lot of different data. I know we're getting some stuff from Benzinga as well, but we're really big for spreading information. We've blown up with the retail trader boom in the last year and a half. We have close to 100,000 members in our server. It's only growing every single day. We have a super, super tight community with pro traders, semi-pro traders, and even novices. But our big thing there is to help people. We're not in there for the money. We're there to help people achieve financial freedom. I'm sure very similar to you, Luke, and this show. We run very similar shows and programs just to help spread that information and knowledge. And yeah, really appreciate you having us on. We also put out stock trades and alerts. I know Vishu has a win alert out. We had some of our pro traders with Roblox stream alerts out earlier today. But yeah, we pretty much do it all, and we have a bright future. And I really appreciate you taking us on today. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. And where can folks head to hear more?
Yeah, so they can easily go to our website. It's just eagle-investors.com. You can join free there. We offer a 10-day
get that in the chat for everybody. eagle-investors.com.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and come join us, guys. We'll be happy to see you. Just all you got to do is accept your trial. You get a free 10 days with us, no strings attached. You can just see if you like it or not. Feel free to reach out to any of us on there at any time. We're happy to answer you. We'll answer you within minutes. Any question you have, we have market analysis posted. We also have alerts posted. So just let us know. We're really looking forward to seeing you. Thanks.
And when you talk about information sharing, is that basically trade ideas are just flowing all day, or what sort of information is it?
Yeah, exactly. So that's exactly what the information is. We're revolving around the U.S. equity markets, but we're also dabbling into international markets as well. Pretty much we have people from Europe, Canada, Asia as well. And we're pretty much 24/7 around the book. Information sharing specifically is whether it's a trade idea, whether it's analysis, or just thoughts on the general security. You might be looking at something, you might get confirmation from somebody, but there's 5 other people there to develop their opinion with their due diligence. So 5 people doing their due diligence is always better than just one person. And that diversity of thought can be brought together in almost like a think tank to get the best ideas and to do the best for all of us. So, yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys, I appreciate it. I appreciate you taking the time to come on and hang out with us today. And hopefully some of the Zinger Nation members will become Eagle Nation members. Do you call it Eagle Nation?
We call it the Eagle team. We're the Eagle team, but Eagle Nation, Zing Nation is also awesome. Hope to see you guys soon. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Luke. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Boom. Keeping the ideas going. There we go. Roblox, that is a nice move. You see the stock breaking out up above those 52-week highs there. And then also we had the Amazon tried for a third time to get up to that high and didn't just get there. So All right, there's the deal. Amazon, maybe. I saw somebody in the chat talking about Ford and GM. Let's look at those for a second. Where is everybody at with Ford and GM? They're a bundle pair. If you guys still like these stocks, drop me the 1 in the chat. If not, drop me the 2. Anybody who's watched the show for any period of time knows that Ford has been my 2021 stock of the year. Every year I pick one high conviction stock that I plan on holding on for an extended period of time, not just a swing trade like we normally talk about on this show. But it's been the high conviction trade. It's been a great stock, right? To have picked it right on the first day of trading of the year. So, moved from 850 to now it's sitting right above 12. I mean, 50% on a stock like Ford, I will take that all day. But it's just been going sideways for a while, right? We had the first 2 months of the year. It was a rocket. I am in GM as well. I'll pull up the year-to-date of GM here and switch you over. So there's a year-to-date chart of GM. They've both been going sideways for the past couple of weeks, fallen out of favor a little bit in my mind. Something that I've been doing, especially against that Ford position, is I've been selling calls against it. We actually did a call sale live on the show last week. Let's go find that. Ticker F, where are you, Scooby? There's the shares. Where are the Ford options? Here they are. Nope, these are the calls that we went long. All right, so check this out. Ford called selling. Okay, we see it's down 33% today. The option is we are short these calls, which means that we are actually up 33% today, right? You got to do the switcheroo. But let me take you through the trade. This is gonna be a covered call trade. I was not planning on doing this, but I saw somebody talking about it. So we're gonna rip it right now. Basically, you sell covered calls when you sell calls against a stock that you own. There's two things that happen. One, you get paid right away for selling that call, so it effectively lowers your cost basis on the stock. Number two is that you might have to sell your shares of the stock for some higher price in the future, right? So in this example here, right, we sold the calls that are expiring April 30th at the $14 strike against Ford. We sold these for 23 cents per share. And effectively what that did, right, the way that I think about it was I own the underlying stock, is that instead of our average price on Ford, right, being, let's switch back to the Ford chart, instead of our average price on Ford being, let's call it $8.50 at the beginning of the year, it drops it down by about a quarter. So now it's about $8.25. And again, the risk that I'm taking on is that I might have to sell my shares of Ford at $14. Absolutely okay doing that, right? Again, the high of the stock is like right around $13.50. You have to sell it at $14. It's higher than where the stock's trading at $12.50. I will do that all day. And so that's how I've been handling the Ford position. I've just been selling calls against it. It's probably about time. There's a little bit more room, juice to squeeze out of these April 30th calls, right? Let's see if we can't get them down to 3 cents or so. So basically what I'm going to be doing to manage this Ford position, I'll be looking to close this trade up about the covered call trade up about, let's call it 90%, 85 to 90% later this week. Then I'm going to go ahead and sell covered calls against the position as well. If the share price is down, I might have to do that at 13.50 strike instead of 14. But again, if I get another quarter instead of, $8.50, then $8.25 being my average price, now my average price is going to be somewhere like $8. I will continue to do that on the position for an extended period of time. When we see it break out of this sideways range that we're in, that might be my call to say, hey, I'm not going to keep selling these because now I think we've actually got room to explode up to a $14, $15 price. But that's how I've been managing the Ford position. If every month I can take a quarter off of it after a few months, and let's say an average price is now $7.50, stock's still hanging out at around 12. I mean, then we're pretty much at a 100% bagger there. And again, when you can do something like that on a stock like Ford, we're not talking about a Mara or a Sundial, right? We're talking about Ford Motor. I mean, it's like the most boring, oldest school stock in the world. That's how I'm doing it. So there's the move there. I see somebody else in the chat. Let's talk about this one. Also wasn't on the plan, but it's another stock that I own, which means I know it and I can talk about it and what I'm doing with it. But Fortinet, this is the live portfolio, guys. If you're new here, live portfolio, all the shares that I own. Fortinet, ticker FTFT. So I own the stock. 31 average price 151. We're up 31% on it right now. Stock's up to $198. Let's go ahead. Let's pull up this chart. We've got earnings coming up on the 29th, ticker FTFT. Oh, I did that wrong. FTNT. There it is. All right, it's a tough one. FTNT. Foxtrot Tango November Tango. Somebody in Zinger Nation, help your fellows out and drop that in there. Fortinet, will you hold it through earnings? I'm not going to hold this one through earnings. I don't think that I have any sort of specific edge on this stock. I'm not going to hold it through earnings, but you see this chart, right? This is daily candles. This is year to date that we're looking at Fortinet. Again, my average price is 151. It's another stock that I bought live on the show. If you guys just listen to me, we would probably make some more money together, right?
Very nice.
Very nice. Okay. All right. Another winner in the portfolio from a live trade made on the show. The trend is your friend, right? We've got this beautiful pattern there. The momentum is running with this stock. I'm going to let it ride, right? And if that means that I have to let it ride up until the day before earnings, and that's where I bomb out of it, boom, I'm bombing out, right? I don't want to take what's a 30% winner and turn it into a 10% loser just because I want to gamble into earnings. I've got no competitive edge on that one. So there's the deal there. Fortinet holding on to it. I'm curious if anybody got into Fortinet with me on the show. This was the same day that we did Cathie Wood. So it would have been, I don't know, about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, somewhere like that. Drop me the one in the chat. I always want to know, what trades we're into together. And that's how I'm playing that one. But all right, guys, if you are just joining us, I'm going to make an ask again. I keep making asks, guys. Okay, I'm making an ask again, and the ask that I'm making is to go to your YouTube page. See this little like button here right there? Just press that button. It's not that hard. That's a part of the YouTube algorithm. It helps us get more members of Zinger Nation in here. The more people we have in here, the more trade ideas we get going, right? We just talked about 4GM and Fortinet in like a 4-minute period. I gave you guys how I'm managing these trades. You heard from your fellow chatters how they're managing these trades, right? That was not on the plan. It's not on the sheet that I have here that I use every day, right? That was just totally out of the chat. The more zingers that we have in here, the more ideas that we get going.
Hey, Luke. Infinity and beyond.
Yes.
I'm here.
What's up? Welcome.
What's up with you, dog?
Nothing. You want to talk about a stock, or what do you want to do?
Well, two things. I want to thank people regarding the TD Bank reach out stuff yesterday. Just one thing. It's not TD Ameritrade. It's TD Bank in Canada. I know several of you did TD Ameritrade. We work with TD Ameritrade. TD Bank in Canada. We already sent out swag, track jackets, etc. If you send an email to TD Bank in Canada that you like Benzinga news because it's better, faster, more timely, we'd be happy. We'd very much appreciate it. Okay, so that is that. Now, have you gone through what I think you've gone through, or no?
Probably not. You want to know what I've done so far?
Yeah, go ahead. Give us a summary. I like that.
All right. I'll do a summary. We've been dropping some ideas. So we talked about to the CEO of EQOS. If you want a crypto play that's not tied to the price of Bitcoin, that could be one for you. We had guests come on. They dropped Amazon approaching highs, getting rejected at highs as a potential trade. Roblox breaking out all-time highs. Jason Raznick stock. Let's go.
Is it?
Yep. Roblox.
What's a symbol?
RBLX, Roblox, all-time highs on that one as a potential trade idea. I pitched a short idea on Geo and CXW. I've got two more to pitch, one short, one on the long side. We might have to save one of them for tomorrow. But that's what we've gotten to so far. We talked 4GM and Fortinet as well. Boom.
Okay, Roadblocks. So what's it at right now?
Roblox, ticker RBLX, pulling the chart up on the screen. 8% today, $80.87. The stock opened for its IPO, its debut at about $64.40.
I bought it at $64.50, and yeah, $64.50 is what I bought it at. And
yeah, baby, there we go.
Don't worry, I sold at $74. I don't own it anymore. So
people in the chat concurrently asked me, like, what are my thoughts on 4GM and Fortinet? 3 trades that I made live on the show. All double-digit winners. That's what I'm talking about. You have your Roblox.
I'm
right. We should have more than 143 likes for this show, but
I'm
that's where we're
surprised.
stuck. 400 people.
I'm surprised I'm not getting any checks in the mail. I don't really want the checks in the mail, so I'm just joking, guys.
I do. Send them to me then. Attention, Luke Jacobi.
But at least hit the YouTube tip jar or something. Like Luke, I talk about how I trade. I give high conviction picks and low conviction picks, or medium, right? And that's what I do. But BTN was one of them that I just was going crazy on for a long ass time. I mean, for weeks and months. And I said, just own it. Just own it. You don't have to do any, you know,
crap.
And so what I want to talk about, I've been talking about BTN for a while, so it's a broken run. We can go to 1 month here. Luke, can I get rid of the side panel and just show the chart? If I just, what do I do? I have to do this way?
Yeah, we can do that in a second.
I got it.
I got my live portfolio. Oh, did you take the screen over? Yeah,
I took it over, sir. Now I want to change it to 2 days. How do I do 2 days here? How do you change the duration of days, Luke?
You might have changed the candle length. I use the preview charts.
The one I just had on.
Like key stats on it.
This one. I hit the back button.
At the very bottom, you got 1 week as an option.
Oh, Lord, I got logged out. Okay, I'm back in. That's how easy it is now. All right, I want to go to the preview chart right here, you said?
Yeah, now you got.
All right, so here's 2 day. All right, guys, yesterday.
Wait, Jason, as an aside, do you know why that 2 day button exists?
Nope.
It was literally because I wanted it. Like, I don't think it's a standard thing to have 2 days there, but I think it's so helpful. Because then you see all the extended hours. You see the move that the stock made yesterday. And we initially had it with 1 day, 5 day, 1 month. And one day I got into like a 2-hour fight with Dimitri. And the next day we had a 2 day button there.
Well, you may have to talk to Big Reddington. He said, I'm pumped about the new screener from the Benzinga email, but I don't know how much you love that, Luke. So you may have to slow the brakes on that one. I'm not sure. All right, Luke. Okay, guys, this is Valentine, BTN. Yesterday, so you have army hours here, Luke. So I have to like do some. All right. So yesterday here, what price was this at? It says invalid date and time, Luke. How do I know what the price was right here? Okay, it was at 3. It was at 297. 297. But it says invalid date time. Look at the bottom.
Yeah, I'm getting that too.
So 297 is the price. So I come on the show. I read the stuff. I tell our news team. That's what I was doing. I was multitasking about this news here. Okay. And guess what, guys? Look, you could have bought it $3. I will pull down, boom, boom, boom. Ooh, well, guess what happens there? Press release. That is at 5:30. I'm going to prove this all to you, just so you can see if you're using Benzinga Pro, you're making money, you're printing money. I'll say. So today is Tuesday, right? I didn't want to like show this yet. Well, now I'm going to show it. Okay, I guess I'll make it one size bigger so you can see it more clearly. I wish I could make this window bigger or something.
Yeah, Control Plus.
No, but I did that, Luke. But okay, just
what happened when you did that?
Just leave me alone, okay? So look, guys. So 11:59 a.m. Valentine shares. Let's click on this. Valentine shares higher. Tells Benzinga shares higher Monday following the Green Forest deal. Easy note. Valentine owns 7 million shares of Green First, right? Okay, that's 11:59 a.m. Then I have our guys on Benzinga write a story on Benzinga. So, and 2 hours later, you could have seen the story on Benzinga. Then at 3:30, we have a little note. Well, guess what? 5:14, BTN issues a press release. You could have bought BTN yesterday when I brought it on the show and we put the news. We could have bought it at, well, now I'm in the wrong part of the chart right here. Could have bought it at 3. Could have held it or whatever. I haven't sold a share. And I know most people that listen to the show own BTN. So today you're happy. If you've made a lot of money on it, feel free to trim some. I haven't, but it doesn't mean I won't, but I haven't at this point. So that's
and Jason,
that's
check this out.
Pro success.
I just hijacked your screen. I got my live brokerage account. We look at every single day up on here. I got into this one with you, live traded it on the show. I know to trust my Jason Raznick high conviction picks. I've seen enough of them.
Like
boom, 31% unrealized.
Honestly,
banging them out right now. We're high, baby.
Honestly, Luke,
your screen's back up. I just put it back on.
I don't think, and I don't want to like jinx myself. I don't think on a high conviction pick I've lost on. I don't think. I really don't. I mean,
are you positive on Tesla? That was a big pick of yours for several years. Are you up or down on that trade?
Yeah, I mean, it's like a $500,000 million gainer stock, Luke.
Yep.
You know, it's like
What about Voyager? That was another one of your.
I even bought it for my wife, and I think she's gonna leave me now because she has money, and now she's just gonna leave me. You know, she has
That's
money.
the way it works, man.
It's the way it works. I guess I'll be single. But at least I have Zinger Nation here. I have Zinger Nation, and so Zinger Nation will be friends with me, right? I mean, I give Zinger Nation my phone number because I want to make our stuff better and be the best and all that. Not many people call or text me. So I guess if my wife did leave me, I'd have a problem because Zinger Nation isn't around for me. There's a couple guys that are internet enforcers. Oh, wow. Look at him. See him? Look there. Look at that.
Boom.
So,
Luke Jacobi New Shirt Fund.
Oh, yeah. I want to have a call with internet enforcers, Luke, with you and me and a couple others because Let's
do it tonight.
But Benzinga, let's do it tonight. Benzinga Pro is printing money for people. And Jason's high conviction picks. Why don't we be like the Motley Fool? You know how you have like the two founders newsletter? Why don't I have a newsletter for $3,500? You either make your money back or you get a full refund. You would have made it back on BTN, Upwork, Express Spa. I mean, everything. I can't even talk about it. I mean, come on, Steve Ehrlich. I had him on at 30 cents, 60 cents for Voyager. It's at $25. You know, like honestly, we should just move to Bermuda and retire, Luke. Oh, someone just asked me.
All right, Jason, I'm gonna
Luke,
I'm gonna get back to building.
Luke, before you go, I see there's two guests in the room here, but before you go, someone just asked me this question. Okay, let's go find it. Oh my God, this one's funny. You got to see this because your boys got me in the stock, and it got killed, and I thought I was out of it completely a long time ago, and I just opened up my Ameritrade account to see like I wanted to see how much. I forgot what I was on to see. Oh, I just wanted to look at my Ameritrade account. Okay. Oh, I needed a screenshot. Luke. I opened my Ameritrade account and I still have the stock that your boys got me in. All right, let me show you. I think you know what it is. VISL, Luke. I can't find the thing. Someone said okay, David Kwan, there it is. He said, do you still own VISL? I was about to write no, because I sold it out of my E-Trade, but it's in my Ameritrade account. So I had 2,000 shares left. I just sold 1,000. I mean, I'm down 50%, 40% on that thing, Luke. And I knew nothing about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So, and this crypto is printing money too. I mean, I have a lot of assets in crypto, but mostly in USDC. I get scared losing cash to like Bitcoin going down, but it's a 63,000. I think next stage is 80,000. All right, Luke. I know you wanted to go because you have to let the turkeys out.
Gotta let the turkeys out.
Did you milk the cows? Because there's no milk in the refrigerator right now.
I didn't want to bring this up, but all right, we're gonna talk about it on the show, okay?
Yep.
I'm moving you to an all vegan diet.
Oh, really?
I know you went in the fridge this morning looking for the milk. We bought the cows for a reason.
Yep.
But I think the vegan diet is the way to go. There's not going to be milk today. There's not going to be milk tomorrow. There's not going to be milk on Thursday.
But because I have to do the weigh-in, and I'm trying the milk. I thought was the one thing I could cheat with.
We're not cheating with the milk.
Shit. Okay. All right, Luke. We got guests. All right,
peace, guys. I'm gonna get back to building. Zinger Nation. Let's rock it out. Happy trading, everyone.
All right, here we go. Let's go. Do. All right, DJ and Mike, what's up? Do you guys want the milk?
Yeah, we always want the milk, man. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Let me back my mic up here, my camera.
What's all right? What is that?
There we go.
What is that hat you're wearing, though? That's what I want to know.
Indiana Wesleyan University. That's where Mike and I went to college, actually. That's our alma mater.
How many students were in the class? Each class, like 50?
Pretty close. Actually, there were probably about like 5,000 in the whole, on campus university at the time. So maybe like what was it, 10,000, Mike? I don't know. It's like a small liberal arts college in Marion, Indiana.
I didn't get out that much, so I'm not the person to ask.
You were like me. Either did I. I was doing random shit, whatever. So you guys have a podcast called Stocks and Saddles. You're not
Stocks Stocks
and Sandals.
It's a very important difference there.
Yeah, totally. Because saddles you could use to ride the cow or the horses, and sandals just go on your shoes, like on a beach. On your no, sandals do not go on your shoes. Sandals go on your feet, not on shoes.
There you go.
But just having okay. And so how'd you guys get into this podcast?
So I mean, Mike and I both started like investing just about like everybody else did back in the when COVID hit and the pandemic rolled around and the market started to turn, and we're like, okay, we got these stimulus checks and we don't really need them because both of us were fortunate enough to not lose our jobs, so we just decided we're going to invest them. So I'm a dad, and I pride myself in that. I'm in a lot of dad Facebook groups and stuff. And, I just happened to kind of make a post one day about in one of those dad groups, like who else is investing, and, kind of the post just kind of blew up. Right. So I'm like, all right, seems like there could be kind of a fun group to make and just be called Stock Dads. Right. So I just made a group, and it just immediately like exploded. I mean, we had thousands of people joining like every day. And, that's one of our, biggest communities on Facebook and Instagram it's called Stock Dads. And, basically like it started to get to the point where people were asking me and Mike for like advice. And we were both like, we're not any good at this. Like, we don't know, like we literally just started this stuff. So we decided that we were going to just kind of do a podcast, and we were going to kind of go on a journey to learn about all this stuff. And we were going to kind of bring people on that journey with us. We were going to interview different experts in the field, different, professional traders, investors, financial planners, just a bunch of different people in the finance industry and stuff. And, we kind of started at ground zero, and we've worked our way up, and we've had like 37 episodes now and stuff like that. And it's been about a year later almost. And, we've been having a lot of fun learning and kind of bringing people along that journey with us and learning with us. And, I think for us, like one of the biggest things was, when we started, we didn't know who to trust. They're always like, there's so many different people that are like, oh, follow me and you'll, drive a Lamborghini next week. And, like all that kind of stuff. And, maybe for you, Jason, that's true. If we follow you, I mean, I just saw you, saying you've never lost, maybe we follow you and we get a Lamborghini next week.
Hey, DJ, don't jinx me like that. I didn't like saying that. I have lost, but on the high conviction ones, that's the.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, come on. I'll show my account. Like, I have lost.
Hey, man, I believe you. But we just we didn't know who to trust, and so we kind of went on this journey to kind of figure out who we could trust and who we could learn from, and who was going to give us like legitimate advice, and who was going to give us just like YOLO your entire account into GameStop type of stuff. And we've just kind of built our community by piecing together different experts in the field, and and have kind of just it's come a long way. It's been a lot of fun. So
no, I got it. And Mike, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of fun with it. Like DJ said, we are not experts on this. We're just kind of nerdy dudes that like to hang out, trade stocks. So yeah.
Mike and I were actually college roommates, which is why he's along for the ride with me. He's actually not a dad, so he's a fraud.
I'm an imposter. Yeah,
total fraud. But yeah, I didn't want to do a podcast by myself because I thought that I would be even more awkward than I already am with Mike. So I was like, hey, Mike, you want to kind of come in and be my dynamic duo with me? And that's kind of how this all started. So
yeah, DJ's taking a little too much credit here because I'm actually one that got him into it. So I'd just like to clarify right there.
I thought he was too. I was on the same page as you. He did.
Yeah.
He seems very cocky. So how many listeners?
Total asshole.
Yeah. I don't want to say it, but you did. Okay. How many listeners do you have to the podcast?
We have about 35,000 regular downloads. So we get we have a solid following, and
boom. My soundboard, I don't know where the soundboard is, so I won't hit that, but
to the moon.
Yeah. So that's pretty good. So aren't you guys shocked by that?
Yeah, we were super shocked. I mean, when we first did our pilot episode and we both listened back to it, we were like, wow, we sound horrible. I hate the sound of my voice. This is going nowhere. But I think people just like the concept, and like I think they like the fact that we suck at this, and like we ask all the questions that they want to ask. But like when you listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff, you know, it's like a bunch of smart people talking to a bunch of smart people, and they use, you know, terminology and stuff that is already over your head. So even though they think you're educating you, you know, they're really not. But we ask dumb things, and you know, I think that people actually like that. So
no, I agree. People don't, you know, they don't want to look dumb, so they're afraid to ask the dumb questions that are like, hey, what does this stand for? What's a PE ratio? You know, like they're just like, what's this? So what are some stocks you guys have been talking about lately, or things you're playing, anything like that? Is that stuff that you guys would know or answer, that kind of stuff?
I mean, so like I said, you know, Mike and I aren't the experts, but we do have play callers in our Discord, and we have people, you know, that we've brought in that you know, play calls for us and stuff like that. I mean, one of the big ones right now that we think is actually a pretty good long-term opportunity is Baba. You know, after this news came out about the fine and stuff, I think, you know, we're pretty confident that that was actually a good thing for them. And we saw that when it shot up right after the news. So I think that's an extremely undervalued big tech company. And, you know, we have some, you know, videos and stuff on our YouTube going over that. And, you know, we bought the $250 strike for January 2022 call option for that. And, you know, that's a big one. We really like MP long-term. You know, we just recently got out of BTBT, you know, with like a 41% gain. You know,
wait, you're going too fast in these. Aaron Bree, put them up. Aaron Bree, put them on the screen. Let's go. What you said, get the last two. He's got out of what for 40% gain?
BTBT, so Bit Digital.
Oh, okay. And what made you get out of it now? Why are you out of it?
So we just, you know, we swung it, and we, you know, think that it had a nice little run, and it's not that we're out of it. We're just going to kind of work on lowering our cost basis and, you know, wait for another dip. But you know, if it stays above 15%, you know, like, or $15, then we would have made our full 100% on the premium.
Got it.
So yeah, it's you know, those are a couple of ones that we've had. You know, we've had, you know, quite a few though. We play SPY pretty much every day, and we're starting to get into, you know, some of the crypto stocks a little bit more, like, you know, Marathon and Riot, and all those are kind of looking good to us. When
you say you trade SPY every day, what do you mean by that?
So, I mean, just like little call options, like we'll ride it up or down, or, you know, depending on what the moves are. You know, we just play what it gives us and do little day trades on SPY.
Got it. So you'll like start in the morning, and will you just trade SPY, or will you do any like triple leverage ETFs or things like that?
We'll just play SPY mostly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
do you do any options?
Well, in our Discord, you know, I don't personally do a lot of options because I just feel like I'm too inexperienced, you know.
Yep.
But a lot of our Discord, you know, community does. A lot of our play callers do. So like today, for example, you know, our daily SPY plan was to take the 413, you know, for April 14th on a confirmed break of the 412-14 resistance, right? And then we had price targets, and you know, because we were expecting some psychological resistance and stuff. And then we also had a put plan, you know, if it broke down below 410.36. So that's just kind of some of the stuff that we do in the Discord.
So you know more than you know, coming off to play, because you're talking.
Well, I mean, I've learned a lot in the last year, but I still, like, I would not, you know, label myself as an expert. I would, you know, the people that we pay it to be a part of our Discord, like, as our educators, those are the experts, right? And those are the ones I've learned a ton from them. I mean, as you can see, like, I can at least speak, you know, a little bit with some educated vernacular. But
yeah, I got you.
We know enough to be dangerous, but
yeah,
it's probably should not
whenever I put in
personal advice.
Whenever I put my personal picks in our Discord, it's I always put them in our Lotto Picks channel, because I'm like, even though I think it's great, and to me it's essentially it's Lotto Picks. So
no, I hear you. I'm actually looking at my call options that I buy, and like say I have 15 different call options, out of like 12 of them I'm down on. I guess I should have stopped buying call options. I'm down because the timing. You have to like have buy long enough duration, and like literally I'm down on every single almost 9 out or 12 out of 15. So maybe I should stick. Actually, I'm up on a couple. The ones that are down stick out more. The one that I'm up a lot on is Hog, and then TAP, which is Molson Coors or one of those things. But those call options they're gambles. But if you get it right, they're such huge wins. I mean, BTN is one of the ones I have call options on, and that's up a lot. But I'm just like, I want to like sell them, but then they're for such a loss right now. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll hang on to it. And so, do you guys have another job during the day?
Yeah, both of us do. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, so I work at a prominent bank in the risk space, just looking at like regulatory violations and stuff like that, mitigating risk in that way.
Yeah,
got it. Okay,
and
that sounds fun, scary.
It's blast.
Yeah, and I work in management for it's industrial sports medicine. Basically, it's kind of hard to explain, but basically, I have a team of like 20 physical therapists, athletic trainers, occupational therapists across the country that go and do like injury prevention and ergonomics and stuff like that for like big manufacturing warehouses, stuff like that. So that's what I do.
And then you have your educators in your Discord. Are you in your Discord all day, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in there in and out regularly. I work from home. So, when I can check in, I'm checking in. We do have full-time play callers in there that are in there all day. We have, educators that are in there all day. But I've tried to manage myself out of having to be in there as much, just because of, trying to grow the business in other ways too, right? I mean, we run an Instagram page. I try and make a fool out of myself sometimes on our TikTok and, YouTube. Trying to just grow all these things takes a lot of time. And, as a dad of 2 kids and, having a full-time job and try and working when I can, So.
Yep. And you have employees too, you said?
Yep. So we have about 8 contractors that do, regular work for us. And then we have our first full-time employee who's our first, full-time trader for us. And he's just in the Discord all day educating, trading, calling out his plays, all that kind of fun stuff. So.
All right. You popped your cherry on the first-time employee. I'm proud of you.
Yep.
See, when I said what school, the reason I said it that way is your hat has a big W on it. And so I was thinking Wisconsin, but then I was like, what are these things to the left of it and right of it? And I know Wisconsin. So that's what I was kind of thinking. So where are you guys based out of?
Yeah, I'm out in Iowa, out in the cornfields.
I dated a girl from Iowa once.
Yeah, I bet that went terribly.
I mean, it was all right. We were at Michigan, and I guess I'll tell the story of when I woke up in the morning later. But anyway, it was she had bunk beds, and I didn't know she had a roommate that was there. It was kind of funny. And I woke up, and I woke up and the beds were like crisscross, and I look up, and I'm looking into someone's eyes right above me. It was very weird, but yes, that's in the bunk bed, the other person, like there's another person in the room. I didn't know this. I didn't know there was another person in the room. I don't even know. I didn't know there was. Yeah, those are the college days. What do I mean to tell you? Okay, wait. How old are you? Who lives in Iowa? How old are you?
I'm 30.
Yeah, we're both 30. Yeah.
So you'd be too young. I would say her name, but you'd be too young. So I guess I won't say it then because you wouldn't know her. Well, if you did, it'd have been, quite Iowa. It's not the biggest town, is it?
I mean, Des Moines, it's not huge, no, but I don't get out much, so I don't know them.
All right. That's what you said. All right, and where do you live, DJ Brown? From dads and sandals and this and that. Keep going.
Yeah, I live in the Chicagoland area, really northwest Indiana, but nobody knows what town I live in. So I just basically claim Chicago. I'm about 45 minutes outside of Chicago.
And you went to school together. This is a good story. Stock Dads. They have an Instagram. Check them out at Stock Dads. And then Stocks and Sandals, where's their podcast, and they talk about stuff. And I assume it's pretty darn good. 35,000 downloads a week. Is that what we're getting at?
And I wish 35,000 like total, but that's only been in, that's only been in like 35 episodes. So and we're growing pretty quickly. So
that is still good. No, that's that. Most people do not have that. I don't think we have that. And we have a podcast of some sort. At least I'm told we do. I just don't like. I'm trying to like keep. I don't know. There's like
maybe that's why you don't have that many downloads, because you don't even know if you have one or not.
I don't even know. Yeah, exactly. Well, I started the company in my basement, and it was just me, myself, and I. And then I had to like fake it till I make it. So I was Jason Raznick, which is my name. I was Todd Rosen. It's my pseudonym. I was Adam Lewis. I was Karen Johnson. That was the big problem. I couldn't fake a girl's voice. And so, it was in the beginning stages of the company, and I had to like fake it till I make it and be talking to these big brokerages. And I couldn't fake the girl's voice. That was what caused the problem. But, but that's what you got to do sometimes, right?
Mike's pretty good at that. If you wanted to, outsource him a little bit, he can do the girl's voice for you.
I'm versatile. I'll help out. No, what's nice for us is that we brand ourselves as not being good at this, so we don't have to fake anything. We just are genuinely ourselves and not good at this.
No, and anyone that calls himself an expert is bullshit. There's no true expert. Now, there's things that like, yes, you can hedge, but like there's a guy in here named Daniel, and I was saying that I sold this stock, and he's like, why don't you use puts and calls? I could do that. It's not like habit forming for me. And so I have to like think too hard to go do it, and what I have to click, and then I have to go find to see the spread. It's just too much. So that person's better than me at that for sure. But like, no one's an expert at all this shit. They can't be. It's just too much going on. But like you can be experts on companies like the stock BTN for 4 months. I was telling these guys in the twos, like, buy the stock. It's one of these things where there's more cash in the balance sheet. They have holdings of other companies. They're going to get dividends from it. That's it. And I explained why you should own BTN, and there was nothing to think about. It was I don't want to say it was a risk-free trade, because it's not. There's no such thing as a risk-free trade. But it was like one of the closest ones, along with Upwork, that were like risk-free trades in my mind. The downside, so I trade by probabilities. I trade by what is the likelihood of it to go down 10% or 20% versus, so the downside on this one was 20% at the most. The upside is like 500%, but the most was 20%, because if it went down 20%, then it was just like you were basically getting money to buy the stock. It was too good to be true, so to speak. So. I don't have those. Like, I don't have them all the time. Like I would say high conviction trades, DJ Mike, I probably have one every 6 weeks, maybe 6 weeks, 8 weeks. Just depends. Sometimes there's things like when Corona and the stay-at-home play was so apparent, I bought all the like boating stocks and stuff that you'd buy for the summer at your house, or going to lake. That wasn't like that was just me buying a basket of stocks, and they all went up, So a lot of this shit is just look at trends. I mean, there's like, who's to argue that Jim Cramer is more aware than you guys of what people are buying outside? I mean, I know Mike wouldn't know that because he's at home all day, and but you would know that, DJ.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Yeah. It's nobody is an expert, everybody's just trying to get along and find what works best for them. I think the other thing to be really, cognizant of, and one of the things that we've stressed in our community is that like, there's really not one strategy that's like fail proof, right? I mean, you have to find what works best for you. So like as working dads, like we can't sit around and watch the computer all day and chart all day long and, like day trade all day long, so we do a lot of swing trading, and we do a lot of long-term investing, and we look for, different strategies and ways to research companies and to, be kind of more sustainable and realistic for somebody who's, got to go work in an office, or got to go, out and play with their kids, and got to go cut the grass, and, not just people that can sit in a penthouse and, pay people to do all those other things for them and just sit there and day trade all day. So,
yeah, I love my penthouse.
Must be nice. Maybe one day.
Just kidding. So yeah, I mean, you look at Benzinga. We just put a insider trade page up for you guys. So if you ever need to look up insider trades, there you go. It's insider trades. Put it in the chat. No, I mean it's a good niche. I mean, there used to be a site. Well, it's still around, called Fatherly, and my friend started it a long time ago, and like I didn't think it would work, and it did. It was huge, and I think you sold it. And you're taking a niche, dads. I have 3 kids, and you have 2 kids. Are you gonna have a third?
No, I have mitigated my risk. Let's put it that way.
You want to tell me about it? Just like when I woke up in University of Michigan dorm, and there was some guys looking at me. It was very weird. Yeah, no, I know you did. That's dangerous business that you're in. I don't like going to the doctor. I do need to get a physical. I honestly haven't had a physical forever.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad, but the smell and the sounds were not okay with me. So let's just put it that way. You smell burning, which is never a good thing. And,
oh my God!
So like you just.
All right, just stop.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hey, we're live and in action here. You're gonna have to mark this explicit pretty soon here. So
yeah, well, I mean, the truth is, I wanted to start a lobby for not showing shots on TV. How they show needles in people's arms like on TV, but they've done this for years. I hate seeing someone getting a shot. I don't know why, and so I literally have to turn away whenever I see those like clips, and I'm like, why? But yeah. So you can't even describe that to me. So
you a Dr. Pimple Popper fan? You a fan of that?
My wife is.
Oh gosh, it's gross.
It's so gross. I know.
So gross.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys, check these guys out. Stock Dads on Instagram. Stocks and Sandals. These, you can just tell they're cool guys talking like they don't know much and asking questions and getting the answers. Go download the podcast. If you don't download it, leave a positive review anyway, just because they're nice guys and they went to a small college and they're trying to get, move out of Iowa and stuff like that. So,
yeah,
there you go.
We actually, just so we made a promo code for you guys. So, I mean, if anybody, watching is interested in our Discord, you can check it out at stockdadsofficial.com/plans and use promo code Benzinga, all caps.
Bree, put it in the chat.
And that'll get you 40% off for life. So, check it out.
Put it in the chat, Bree. We should get you a promo code for Benzinga Pro. It's like a real, data. Have you been inside Benzinga Pro?
We actually talked to James on your team, and we're looking at it.
James, who's James? Yeah. James O'Connor, maybe.
I think that was his last name, if I recall correctly.
Was he super nervous talking to you?
I mean, I'm pretty alpha, so a lot of people get nervous talking to me.
Guy.
No, he was fine. He was a good dude.
I mean, he's new here, so I think so. I don't know. It's a little crazy, but that's cool. So we should talk about it for sure.
Our full-time guy wants a Benzinga Pro membership for sure.
Yeah, let's
he asked for one.
Let's do it. I can show it to you on the thing here, but let's do it. So Andrew Weiss is probably the guy you should talk to on it. Andrew Weiss, A Weiss at Benzinga. Hey, Aaron Bree, can you do a favor for all of us and send an intro email, Weiss and these guys? How about that? Can you do that, Aaron Bree?
Yes, sir. I will do that.
You promise?
Yes, sir. I'll do it right now.
Don't drop the ball.
Man, he came out of nowhere. Yeah.
I'm like Skynet. I'm like Skynet from Terminator.
Man, I feel violated. I feel like there's other people I feel violated.
Oh yeah, there is Aaron Bree. There's another guy, Rohan. I think are you here, Rohan? Oh no, he's not. He's faking it. I thought if Rohan would hear us, but nope.
Is this another one of your alternate personalities? This Rohan guy?
There you go. That was good. Yes. No, I stopped that. It was just in the beginning. I had to be bigger than myself. Like I had because we like license news to brokerages and all that, and it couldn't just be me, or else they'd think we're a joke. So I don't know. That was the
it, man. Hey, whatever works. The grind,
It's the grind. All right, well, guys, thank you for coming on again. Appreciate it, Mike, DJ Brown, Stock Dad, Stocks and Sandals. I said saddles before, and he got so mad. So
we'll start that podcast next week.
Yes,
Stocks and Saddles.
Can I come on as a guest as on the saddles one, because I used to ride horses for like a week. Okay?
Hey, you're our first guest. Mark it.
All right.
Let's get you on our podcast too. We'll get you on Stocks and Sandals pretty soon.
Sounds awesome, man. Thank you. Talk to you guys soon.
Guys.
Yep,
awesome.
Thanks for coming out.
Guys.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. So, Aaron, good job bringing these guys on. They're funny guys. They have a good Instagram. I have to move that. Yep, there we go. And then I got to put on our banner thing. I need Mike Fee to give me some more videos. I need some videos because, here we go. One sec. All right, so that is the upcoming BZ smallcap.com conference. Register now or you'll miss out on crazy wins. Crazy wins. I mean, we had stocks that went up 800% since that time. Crazy shit. If you're not there, you're losing out, and we're going to sell out. We're not keeping this one open. So if you haven't, go to bzsmallcap.com. And I think it's a free registration. But here's the thing. If you register and you don't attend, they're not going to let you register for the next one. So don't register unless you know you can attend, because I already see like 16 people that tried to register again and have been declined because they did not attend the next one. We try to open this up to the public to give you the opportunity to benefit the same time institutions and hedge funds benefit. They used to be the only ones that would get access to this kind of stuff. And we're trying to, bring the average Joe to the market. And so we give you guys access at the same time. Now, the problem is if you sign up and don't attend, that takes a spot from someone else. So please don't register unless you're going to attend. It's important. So bzsmallcap.com. There was like 6 stocks out of the 20 that presented last time that went up like 40% like within the next 3 days. So I don't know, if you're looking to make money and you don't register, that's silly. bzsmallcap.com. All right. We do have another guest coming up, and I'm excited for this guest. He has a unique name. I don't know how to pronounce the first part of it, so I'll have to be like, I guess I'll just have to ask him. But before we bring him out, we're going to go review a couple stocks. We're going to look at a couple stocks, okay? Because we're a trading show, and we're here for trading ideas. And you guys can hear me talk. But if I don't show you trading ideas, you don't want to listen to me. So let's go real quick for a couple trading ideas. Here we go, okay? I'm going to open up my account, click the button, hit the share button, and you guys can see what I have. I think it's easier if we just do it that way. Go there. We'll use the E-Trade share button. That's what we're doing. Let's do the GG view. Let's see if the view GG shows you percentage gains or not. Come on. There we go. This is the view that we want. All right. Now we're going to share the account. I need help from you guys today. You guys got to give me some new trades. There is a guy, though, in here that gave me a trade that I'm not happy about. He said, Jason, buy U.S. Steel. So I bought U.S. Steel. Well, U.S. Steel isn't doing diddly. My options on that one are down. So here's what we got right now. This is what we're trading here. What do you want the link for? I don't know where the link at. Link for, oh, yep, there you go. No, I'm not an HMBL. Okay, but here's what we got. So, all right, sorry about that, guys. So we got Tesla up $43. Yeah, am I sad that I sold 50 shares at $650? Kind of. 50 times 100, that's $5,000 more dollars. So that'd be 28,000 out of you today. Yeah, I'm sad. I would like that 5,000. I sold 50 shares at 656. So we're up. That's a huge win today. Hey, is Gordon Johnson coming on anytime soon? Yeah, because he's doing great. All right. So BTN, as you guys know, big fan. Now, this pen is when I went big at the 100 level, and it's just sitting there. It's not really doing anything. It's not doing anything. It's just sitting there, and I'm getting to the thing. If we see this break 100, the 100 level, to get to 98, we may have to make an adjustment. Now, someone's telling me to buy Sono. Okay, what's Sono? I don't know what that is. So I'm going to buy 20,000 Sonos. Why am I buying Sonos? What's the catalyst for Sonos? I don't I mean, I'm not on pro right now. I'll just show you E-Trade, make it easy. Okay. So all right, we got some insider buying, 2 million, but I got to look at that more. I don't see why I would buy Sonos. I don't know what the catalyst is. So if you could tell me the catalyst, that would be good. Oh, I own Slack. I mean, I had 3 companies that I own that are bought out. They're just not all closed yet. So when they get closed, then I'll own CRM automatically. Twilio, HubSpot, I own a lot of that, but you guys know it's in the other account. So Delta, I'm hanging on to. I'm hanging on to Delta. So let's just go total gains. These are options, the one that you see that are getting killed because I have some options at the time duration. TAST. So here's my level of TAST. I think it goes back to 6. It goes back to 6. May get to 7. I'm gonna sell 1,000 or 2,000 shares like 650. I know it's at 550 today. I thought about buying some, but because I'm an idiot, I don't want to bring up my dollar cost average. Raz said he'd go to lunch with me at 250. Okay, so yeah, and then so the X, whoever gave me X, I'm down on that one. HMBL, I don't know much about it. I'll have to look into it. So Wendy's, TAP, I still like. Twilio, I like. I still like BTN for sure. Save, I like. Save is going to be at $40. You guys know, and you guys know STKS. So isn't it beautiful to know every stock that I say that I'm going to do, I tell you guys about, and it's all here. It's not like I bullshitted you and said, oh yeah, I bought Funko. It's here, it's there. Hog up 20%. FGF, same guy behind BTN is in FGF. So if you're in BTN, FGF is like a sister to it, but it's not that liquid. So be careful. Don't go buy a big position, I would say, because I mean, I own a decent sized position, I guess, but FGF is like the same guy, Kyle Simonera, who's very smart. He's doing the thing with Joe Moglia on the OpFi SPAC. Be careful on that, but it's FGF is a similar company to BTN. So it's like a holding company, same guy, Kyle Simonera. That FGF, my guess, we're in, my call options aren't great. So we're in April. I would guess April, May, June. By July, FGF is $8 to $10 for like, I'm not selling a share of FGF. Leslie Pool Supply, you know how I feel. I like Leslie's. I bought more shares. I think I even bought more today. I don't even know. I bought OSW is down today because they do the spas on the cruise ships. Okay. So keep that in mind. OSW spas on cruise ships. MOGO, a couple of you guys recommended that. I bought it because you guys recommended it. Is this a spec or it's not? I don't even know, but I got it. Okay. So that's it. Now we'll talk more. Bill Big D, I get you said, I get what you're saying on the Sonos. ATNF. All right. Let's review ATNF, guys, real quick. And then we're going to bring on the guest. So ATNF, let's talk ATNF right now. This is Life Sciences 180. All right. You want to put that on the full screen? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So interesting stock, but I don't know. Yeah, Moderna, I own a little bit, not enough to make it. My next pick, guys, I really want to buy strong. I want to put in like 100,000 and something like that. So if you guys want to find me something, I'll put it. You guys remember I was doing those $20,000 trade today when you guys gave me stocks? I haven't done that in like a week. So we got to find one of those. But Gordon Johnson, you guys should all tweet to him. I mean, you gave me BA for, I don't know what you did. I have print screens who gave me these. Whenever I do a trade, I write on I go to Benzinga Pro and I go to the watch list and I write the notes who gave it to me. So that Express Steel, I know who gave it to me. All right. But without further ado, it's guest time because he's going to get tired. It's almost bedtime. Okay. So here we go. All right. Wait. Oh, it moved. Okay, here we go. Hey, Kadar the Don. What's the name?
Yeah, I'll go by Kadar, but people also call me Kadar the Don.
Why Kadar the Don?
Just kind of like a nickname growing up. As kind of a play on with the Godfather. You know how like there's like Godfather on top, and then people, as a sign of respect, call the people like, "Oh, that guy's like he's a Don." So
yeah. No,
going by
you know
that.
what? You know what? Yeah, that's a good idea. Hey, I got to change my description because it says Jason, I'm gonna be Jason Raznick to Don. What do you think?
I love it. Do it. Go for it.
Yeah, I think it's time. Why not? Like,
why not? Yeah.
I mean, seriously. So you got in touch with Aaron Bree, or Aaron Bree got in touch with you, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That is right. So what is your story, man?
So this is my second time on Benzinga. Also, I want to say thank you, Jason, for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. Thank you. You're a nice man.
Yeah. Thank you. So, my name is Kadar. I was born and raised in Seattle. I graduated from the University of Washington Business School with a degree in finance. I've been trading for about a little over 2 years. I've been trading options for over a year now. And what made me want to start trading options was basically when the pandemic like hit its peak back in March. So a little over a year ago, I saw all these stocks, some of the biggest like stocks like Boeing, the airline industry, just all like tank and go to shit. And I just kind of saw I saw it as an opportunity to just sort of like dibble and dabble with options and try and see what I could like make out of it. And so it's been a fun journey. It's been really cool. A lot of learning processes, ups and downs for sure. But, I'm thankful for every part of it. And, it's been fun. And I'm glad that the pandemic's been horrible, but I'm glad that it presented me with this opportunity and in long short to be here.
Got it. Okay. No, that is awesome. Where do you live though?
I live in Seattle.
You do live in Seattle. Okay.
Yeah.
And have you lived there all your life?
That's right. I lived there all my life.
All right. Now, do you ever want to get out of Seattle?
I've thought of it. I mean, as far as like tech goes and just industry, it's like a booming place. It's kind of like Silicon Valley 2.0, just like Amazon and Google, Apple, like all these like big companies are here. So, it's a great opportunity for like work and all that. And also, there's a ton of angel investors and people that like want to invest in different ideas and startups. So I'm gonna try and like milk that as much as I can when I want to get something started and going.
When do you want to get something started? When?
Soon, very soon.
Do you know what yet?
Yeah, I'm working on basically coming out with my passion is sneakers, and so like I've been collecting sneakers all my life, and just I'm a huge fan of Kobe Bryant. I know, kind of off topic from stocks and all that, but basically I want to create a new way of buying and selling shoes.
All right, we may. It's okay. It's a big market. We may be competitor. We may be competitors.
I love competition, so I'm happy for it.
All right. Have you heard of our company, StockX?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. It's we're in the same building. I was there when we were picking up the logos, so I invested in it. I'm passive, early investor, and this guy Dan Gilbert started it, and so work closely with those guys. Or not now. I don't work closely with them, but no. I mean, I wish you well. I mean, StockX is doing amazing. Huge
staple in the seeker community, so
it's going public at the end of this year, likely. It is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure.
It is. I mean, I'm an investor in it, so I have whatever knowledge, but I'm not a big investor, but a small investor because I'm an idiot.
Huge.
I know I should have been bigger, but so yeah, I mean that's awesome, dude. So I mean, for you, just get started with it. Just don't wait on it. See, when I started Benzinga, I waited a year to start it. A year. I kept saying, okay, I'm going to start it tonight. I'm going to do it today, and then I just never did it. I never got off my ass. And then I get home and I get in bed and I get my computer out and I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it. And then I'm like, I don't do it. And then I'm like, I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. and do the work. Okay. And then at 5 a.m. when I wake up, the motivation sometimes I lost it. So my dad said to me, or maybe it was Luke here, he said, don't put off until tomorrow what you can do today. And so if there's some small steps you can make, man, then like fucking just make the small steps, Don't even think about making it perfect. Don't even think about like whatever, I mean, StockX now it looks like a huge company, but at first it was totally pieced together with some, I mean, whatever. One day we can go through that, but
I'd love to. Yeah, sounds amazing.
And Kobe's the man. I mean, Kobe is the fucking man.
Yeah, he's the GOAT, man. I met him when I was 16.
Yeah, he told me. Yeah, he's like, I met. He's like, yeah, I met Kadar the Don. He's like, so. No, it's funny. I saw Robert De Niro recently at a hotel.
Oh, wow.
I know, but I told someone I saw him, and the guy wrote back to me, "Oh, that's so funny. Robert was just telling me how he met you." Like, so.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
That's funny. Another thing, if you're a celebrity, you should do this to someone. Say you're looking at a celebrity at a restaurant. Rodney Dangerfield did this to me. No, Jackie Mason. I was looking at him, and he's like, and he knew that we our whole table knew that we knew who he was. He looks at us and he goes, "Don't I know you from somewhere?" Like pretending like that, like making it. It was pretty funny. So,
that's so cool.
So, are you trading and stuff?
Yeah, I'm trading. I've slowed down a little bit just because I have like some other commitments that I require. But I've been trading Riot recently since the news.
Aaron, will you give me a Riot chart, please?
Of Coinbase IPOing and Bitcoin breaking 60,000 again. So I bought a $55 call last week and I sold it on Monday and for some like solid gains. But now I'm seeing it's at 57, so I feel like I sold too soon. But
so you'll buy a weekly call? You got no problem?
I bought like weeks every I usually depending on the price of the premium, if it's let's say like a lot more than like 1,000 or like 2,000, I try to maybe do like 2 weeks out or at minimum, or maybe like 2 to 3 weeks, like if it's like a Tesla play. Yeah. But if it's like that, the call that I had bought with Riot was like, I think a couple $100, so it wasn't a lot. So I didn't mind doing a weekly because it had been doing fairly well as like a recovery stock, because I know it took like a beating back in March. So it was making some headway and some solid gains. And so I just like kind of hopped in right when it was like around 47, I believe. Yeah, so right when it was like around 47, I hopped in and I just like sold when it broke 51 or 52, like right around there on Monday.
Yeah, and I know what you mean, Kadar. I mean, the thing with like you're seeing it and you could make a little more. It's so hard, man.
Yeah, it's difficult.
It is so hard to know, Kadar, like when to sell, when not to sell. And it's really hard. I mean, my whole Tesla thing. So I've owned Tesla since the beginning, or not the beginning, but not the beginning, like within a couple of years. And I didn't buy enough. But yes, I've done well. But like, so recently I started selling because this guy Joel Elconin keeps yelling at me that I own 60% of my portfolio in it. And he's right. Whenever Tesla was down, my portfolio was down a ton. Whenever it was up, my portfolio was up. So I've been selling some. So now I'm down to like 545 or 560 shares or something. I mean, I had at one point 1,000 or 800 shares. So it's really hard because that FOMO fucks you up. The FOMO,
it does.
Because, Tesla could be at 550 and I'd be like crying right now. And then I'm like kind of mad right now because Tesla's at up to 746. I'm like, oh, why'd I ever sell any? So it's the game of selling is hard. It's just like
it is.
When I buy 3 to 4 separate times and stuff and like that. And I mean, it's really hard. It's like, because your option, sorry about that, could expire worthless if the stock, if there's some bad news comes out. So it's hard, man. I mean, it's just learning and going through it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. People always hit me all the time on Instagram asking like when they should sell any of their options, and I'm just like, dude, I can't make that decision for you. It's all about like how much of the gains you're comfortable with and how much you're basically willing to lose, because sometimes people are like too stagnant and they'll be up like 100, even 200%. And they're like, oh, let me see how much I can squeeze more out of this, and they just hold too long. And the stock ends up expiring like useless. I know a particular instance, like last summer, what happened to me was when I first started trading options with Tesla, it was crazy. So it was like a few weeks before Battery Day around August. And I bought this call for around, I think, 1.2K. And within a matter of 3 days, like the value of the contract was worth like 8,000. And I didn't even sell then. Like I held on to it for like, I was like, oh, if it's doing this right now, like what is it going to do on Battery Day? And so I held on to it for like another like 2 weeks, and you know what happened after Battery Day? The stock like tanked like pretty bad, and I like lost like all like 6,000-7,000 of those gains, and I was basically back to where I started with the price of the premium. And it was just I had to hold on to that like a bit longer so I could just make some some of the gains back, but I can tell you it wasn't like that extra 7,000 in gains. So it's
you should have reached out to me. You should have reached out to me then. I'm not saying I play stock perfectly, but I played that one. I've owned Tesla since the beginning. Before battery day, I bought puts. Okay, I bought puts because I thought it was going to be the biggest sell-off in Tesla's history. And yes, because I don't know why it wouldn't be, because there was no reason why battery day in my mind would have pushed the stock up, because people were suspecting that they're going to introduce a battery that can go 1,000 miles or 1,000,000 miles. Well, they physically can't do that, because not physically, but they can't do it because they have cars already out there on leases and coming off leases that have residual values. If all of a sudden the Tesla cars go 1,000 or this or that, it ruins residual values of existing cars out there. So my thing was, no matter what he said, even though it was cool stuff, it was going to disappoint in a big way. And so I did buy puts. But what happened was, after the close, it went up for a little bit because someone said, "Oh, they're gonna tease something big at the end," or he tweeted, "I some surprise at the end." I'm like, "Oh God!" What if it's the semis coming out? And then it was just that they had the Plaid. So I had these puts, and I got nervous, or not enough puts. I shorted regular stock. Anyways, I covered a lot of it in the after hours, and I should not have. I didn't keep my conviction. I wish I was away from the computer, because I would have made bank on that, and I would have had it lower. But yeah, my conviction was, that was that thing.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it's that stuff's hard. I mean, so have you always been in the markets, or just recently?
No, I've always been in the markets. So kind of what I mentioned earlier about like going to business school and stuff, like I have a lot of my classmates and like close friends who would always like talk about the market and like what they would invest in and stuff. I was kind of confused as far, because I knew what the stock market was and like how to buy shares and all that. Like that part was like easy to me, and basically it was more about research and trying to figure out like what to buy. But the crazy thing, Jason, was I would hear these guys in my class talk about like, "Oh, I just shorted this company right here. I'm going along with Amazon. I'm doing this. I'm doing that." And I'm just like, what the fuck are these guys like talking about, like in my head? And I'm like insanely competitive. And so I'm thinking like, okay, these guys are in like the same business school as me. We're in the same class, like in the same classroom. And they're talking about like buying $7,000 worth of like Activision calls. And I'm in college at the time. So, like money isn't so expendable at the time. And so I'm thinking like, who the fuck has like 7,000 to blow on like calls or whatever that is? So I reached out to my friend Vincent, and I was just like, "Hey man, like I hear you and the guys like always talking about like calls, puts, and going long and going short. Like, what is it? Like, explain it to me." And so that's when he started explaining like options to me. And I was like my junior year of college at UW. So once he kind of gave me the rundown, I kind of just went and like understood like what to do. I didn't act on it, and so to say, because I was just like, okay, I don't really like have that kind of bread to blow just yet. But when the pandemic hit, I just started like playing around with my financial aid money, and I just kept going and just running it up. And I was thinking like, oh my God, like this is like some of the easiest money I've ever made. I think some of my first success with calls were, or not even just calls, but options in general, was first shorting the airline industry. So me and a close family friend of mine, like I consider him like my little brother, like we both kind of started at the same time. He's 19, by the way. And so we both went in and we started buying like puts on American Airlines and United Airlines. And this is back in, I want to say, May or June. I think it's like around that time where just airlines all around the world just started like to just tank terribly. And so we bought puts and we made a killing off of it like in less than a day, and we like held on to them for 5 days, and I think we like 5x the return, and it was just like insane. So that was like the first like, okay, like this is real and we can actually like do this when it comes to like trading options. So and I did more research, and I told like a bunch of the guys like, oh my God, like we have to buy calls on Peloton. Peloton is the next wave. Like I'm telling you guys, we got to do it. And this is when Peloton, I want to say maybe like was around $45 back in late June, I believe. Yeah, late June. It was like around like $45, I believe. And I went and bought a bunch of calls and instantly started like to print off of them. And I was just like, I felt like the man. And I was like, yeah, I can do this. Like, like like those Wolf of Wall Street scenes where it's just like you walk in and just like everyone, that's what it felt like pretty much. So I thought it was like, it was a good time for sure. I would say if I were to change anything about my trading style back then was to be a bit more risk adverse, because I used to just be one of those guys that, like, I'm sure like people make fun of just like YOLOing on Tesla calls or just like anything that they see in the news. And you know, it's cool and all, like you can make gains and everything like that, but I feel as though it's much more beneficial in the long run if you can assess your risk and be able to figure out, okay, what am I willing to lose and when should I like secure gains while I'm still ahead, versus just like getting that greed and kind of just like holding on for like too long and just like potentially losing out on everything.
Got it. Yeah. And so, and that's the problem. I mean, it's buying calls. So, and that's what you have, I mean, you've done it, so you know how to buy them. You've done it. And, it's one of those things that, like, do you miss when you're doing your other stuff that you're focusing on? Do you miss the markets?
Oh yeah, man, I miss it so much. Oh my God. It's kind of sick because I think I took a break in, I want to say like early January for about a week, and I was miserable. Like I was like, oh my God, like I should be out there investing right now. Like what the hell is wrong with me? And it was only like, mind you, I only took like a week off, like just one trading week. And I was just like going through it. And so I think now, like I took I went to San Diego back in February, and I had sold off a lot of my like Riot calls because I was investing in Riot and Gamara and all those like companies right when they're going on a crazy run. And I just went nuts with it, and I pulled out like I think almost all of my money out of my portfolio, and I just like kind of held it in a bank account just because of I was like working on something else that required like my attention and more capital. Then that's when the market tanked, and I was just like, whoa, perfect timing actually. So I didn't regret it pulling it out, but it's just like now I'm kind of figuring out the best way to kind of like get back and just like get in the full swing of things, because in my full trading mode, I would be kind of trading maybe like 6 to 7 different companies at a time, like with a bunch of different like options. And now it's maybe like 1 or 2. So it's like I've been fairly slow on it, but you know, I'm going to definitely get back in the full swing of things really soon. Have you ever taken breaks like that before, Jason?
I didn't trade for a while at all, do any trading at all. Because, you know, Benzinga is my focus. There's about 85 people, 100 people here. So I did not focus on it at all and on the trading. And it's nice to come back and get a refreshed look. I honestly wish sometimes I didn't do it as much. It's just that example of like, go with my instincts. My instincts was the battery day was going to be the worst for Tesla, and I should have just done my conviction and then walked away. But instead, I traded too much. So yes, and you know, and like people liked when the market was going straight up, and everyone. And so now the market's a little slower right now, and you just got to be careful, and you got to go slower, and then find these positions and build size, and that's yes, I do that. I think it's healthy.
Absolutely, yeah, I couldn't agree more. And it was I think it's because partly because of our former president, or why the market was just like stonks only go up kind of vibe. So it was pretty funny. It was just because there was moments last summer where it was just like, you know, Trump could send out a tweet and things would just like fly. Like the whole, I don't know if you remember with Kodak back in July when he announced like they would be making all like the PPE equipment and from like 5 to 65 in a day. And I'm just like, dude, like, who the fuck could see this coming?
I mean, you couldn't, and that's, but there's going to be more of that. So that part, guys, if you're listening to the show right now and you're like, there's going to be more of those kind of opportunities that you just have to pay attention to. Like, there's going to be more of that. It does, it doesn't go away. It just, it's in different, you know, scenarios. There will always be more of that, but that was crazy then. Like it was nonstop, as you know. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Jason, what do you think of the Coinbase IPO?
I mean, it's a lot of these IPOs that have gone public have underperformed because people are so excited and then they underperform. So I do think it's something to be, you know, cognizant of. You know, I think it's something that you just have to I don't know. I don't think, is it going to go straight up tomorrow? That's what it seems like. But just a lot of the other ones have just like sold off. So you just have to be careful,
Yeah, I wonder how Airbnb is doing, because that was like a huge IPO that lots of people were anticipating, and yeah, it was supposed to IPO at like $45, and it was like $100 more or something.
Yeah, exactly. So but then it's harder to move. Like DoorDash, same thing. So
yeah, exactly.
You have to be careful on this. Are you buying
Coinbase? Honestly, it depends. Honestly, I feel like I would, because I was reading somewhere that they have more users than like Robinhood and another platform combined or something like that. 1.5 billion in revenue last year, and 80 million in revenue just in the last quarter. I don't know if those numbers are accurate, but that was just like where I was like reading. But it's huge, because like it's kind of like the gold rush, and Coinbase is selling shovels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
you're right.
It's just kind of like that. And like even now with like cryptos, like there's a bunch of like, I have like another close friend of mine who's like obsessed with cryptos, and that's like all he does. And we would just he would just like tell me about these different cryptos. And so like recently we like hopped on a call together, and he was telling me about like Safe Moon and Safe Galaxy and all that. And I was just like, well, I'm not really sure like what it is, or like what the technology is behind it, but like, fuck it, YOLO, why not? And then just like went and bought like 1 billion coins of Safe Galaxy. It was just like, it's just like random shit like that. That's like kind of like intrigues me and grabs my interest. Like, will I think it will pop off? Probably not. I mean, I'm not sure, but it'd be funny, because like, I'm sure people thought the same thing about Bitcoin, like maybe like when it came out in 2009. So what are your thoughts on crypto?
I think it's here to stay for now. I do. I think it's here to stay. So I don't know. I mean, there's Binance, there's a lot of stuff. I think it's here to stay because everyone else keeps printing money, and so I think that's why it's here to stay.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of my take. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Definitely one of those things for the future where it's just like things keep advancing. I guess like crypto is part of that. So just like as technology advances, like cryptocurrency is going to be more of a thing.
Yep, exactly. All right, man. Thanks for coming on. I got 1 minute on this show. Kedar the Don on Instagram. Give him a follow. You're a good man. I love your passion. I hear it from your voice. And just get your thing going. Get your shoes thing going.
I'd love to like sit and talk to you about like just how StockX got started and all that. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, but just instead of talking to me at first, get your thing started, then talk to me.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm trying to force you to start it. That's all. I'm trying to switch it on you. I'm trying to force it. When I say how it got started, they just were in a room. They picked a logo. They scraped eBay for prices. Of shoes. Like they had to get prices of sold items, the completed items. Like that is what I mean by how they started. They needed a marketplace. They needed pricing. If you start launch a dating site and there's no volume on the dating site or any people on the dating site, then no one's going to sign up. So you had to do something. You had to put some shoes in there. So eBay is a good place to reference.
Absolutely. Yeah. I appreciate the wisdom and the advice, Jason.
Yeah, that's it. So you don't have to wait for it. That's the main thing I was going to mention.
Next time you hear from me, it will be going for sure.
Yeah, or switch it up and do whatever. But it's keep doing your thing. Let's make it happen, and stay in touch.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Jason.
Right. No, thank you for coming on and taking the time. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too. Thank you.
All right, guys. That was Kedar the Don on Instagram. I love it. I love different kind of people we have on the show and what people different talk about. It is pretty freaking sweet, to be honest. Different takes. I love how he was trading calls on my favorite one, Peloton. I was the dummy buying all the stock. I bought a few calls, not a lot of calls. Should have bought a lot of calls because I'd be rich. But that was still a good trade, so we're happy. Aaron Bree, do I transfer it off? What do I do? It's 2:00, and I know we have another show coming on.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we got crypto. We got crypto coming on here in a minute.
Is it on now?
Let me check.
Okay.
Yep, we are live now, so let's go ahead and get wrapped up, and we'll be back tomorrow.
What time?
Power Hour.
12 o'clock?
Yes, sir.
So if you haven't like and subscribe, sign up for BZ Small Cap. We appreciate you guys. Let us know what you guys want us to talk about, what guests you want on. We'll bring on any CEO you want, and that's what we do. We have the contacts. This is where you're here. This is your number one show to listen to CEOs and hear trade ideas. Thank you for being here today. We appreciate you. We out.